Okay, this is going to be the first video in a series, a short series of 3 videos. And what it's all about is I'm starting to work with these Swiss Schmidt-Reuben rifles. Now the first one I'm going to do some work with is also the first one in the family line, the model 1889. Now, this rifle here, a lot of questions about it because of its age and the fact that the action is somewhat weaker than the later versions that came after this. There's a lot of controversy about shooting it. And also, not only are we going to load for this, make a load for this that's safe, at least in my opinion, and go and shoot this fairly accurately is what the goal is, to get something safe that produces a good group. I will go into more details with another video, but what I'm doing also is I'm experimenting with a new way of doing things with my channel, okay? So you're going to have this introduction video, and then I'm going to show you the next video, which is going to be a video where I fire this gun right here, developing a load for this. Now, getting into the ins and outs, reloading, or all the intimate details, I can do that again also. But for right now, with everything going on, what I did is I had the components and stuff set aside for this gun. Okay, and I never got around to doing it, but now that things are slow and I can't get components, I decided to go out and impromptu do a reloading for this. I will cover these rifles on my YouTube channel, okay, and talk about them and make videos for each of the, I think, 6 different models I have or something like that, 5. But we'll do that later. So what I'm going to do now is we have this video, and this video is explaining what's going to happen. Next video you're going to see me take this out to the range and do my load development. And one of the problems I have with people is they don't do their own load development. Okay? If you were an experienced reloader, okay, and knew what you're doing, very easily you could go do your own load development. What do I mean by load development? You just do not take a certain powder amount, velocity out of a book and load a bunch of cartridges and go shoot it. What you do is you get a start and a finish, usually 10%, sometimes even less in the case of something like this, in terms of powder charge. And what I do is I run them in a half-grain increment along a series, and I have paper targets and chronograph results, and I try to marry up the one that has the smallest standard deviation and the tightest group on paper. And that's what I come up with. So, the next video I'm going to show you shooting it. Now what's going to be different is the third video, where I tell you what powder I use, what bullet I use, and how I did it all. This is going to be on Odyssey. Why? And on Odyssey alone. Because I am going to charge you $2 to see the results. There's a way on Odyssey, I believe, and I'm going to experiment setting this up to where I'll give you a link. This is going to be the third video. The third video will be on YouTube, where I will give you the link in the description box, and then you can go to Odyssey and see the results after you pay the $2. Now, why $2? Well, that's what a beer costs in my favorite bar. Okay, number one. Number two, nowadays with reloading components, this test run, and I really didn't use the powder I liked, cost some money. Okay, there was like 30-40 rounds expended to figure out what I want, get me my accuracy and everything else, which is not cheap considering most of this ammo costs like $40 for 20 rounds or something. You know, it's just the way it's going. And I'm going to experiment with this. So which will probably, I'll explain the Odyssey thing in the third video. But that's what we're going to do. And if nobody goes along or pays to view the results, then I'm going to stop putting the results and information out there. Okay, it's as simple as that. So we're going to try this out and see how it works. This is just a test run. Okay, and if it doesn't work, I'm not giving out my reloading results anymore. Alright, so let's go to the range and see how this gun does.